Cool.
So
So
where are the online people? How do I see where they're at?
There's 3.
participants. Well, where are they over here though? Because I had them up here earlier. So hold on.
It's just one person on there.
Is it just Corey right now?
Mhm.
It's always, where's the visual though of like,
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Figure it out.
Yeah. They were on there earlier, then they just disappeared.
Everybody heard
Hey,
you were
everyone.
teaching,
How are
bro.
you? Christina.
Sure.
Grab a seat.
Everybody heard you were teaching, bro.
That's why they didn't come. Love it.
Whatever. That's why you're gonna block in. Wait.
Let's start it off right. Some swear words.
Block.
That way we can't get them on YouTube here in a little bit. I'm just gonna use all of them real quick. So it does not upload and I'm happy.
Ridiculous. Actually, this one isn't even on YouTube. I have it in a special drive, so you
I
can
don't like
swears all you want.
Ooh, so many swears.
Well,
All the swears. Do you want to give them a couple minutes or do you want to go ahead and go?
It's up to
Totally
you. It's up to you.
It's up to you.
You're in charge.
Rock, paper, scissors? What was that?
It's always a shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, well, now you know.
You can't go 1, 2, 3. We're not going on 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, then go.
Okay.
All right, what are we
We're gonna
doing?
go ahead and start.
Oh, we were gonna do that
I
anyway.
was gonna say, I think. either one of you are
All
gonna-
right, so today, guys, is capture more leads. I don't know if you saw Brian's intro video, but it was one of the best ones I've ever seen. It made me giggle out loud. Home Alone, but that's fine. All right, so we should have Corey online, if you want to check her in over there. And I think a few more people might filter in, but
Are you with us, Corey?
yeah, she just said, hey, everyone. Oh, actually,
She said hi.
yeah, she said, hi.
Oh, way back.
Way in
Cool.
there, way.
I don't like typing. Please don't
Yeah.
type. Unmute yourself and say hi, please.
Steal those for the first little bit. and I'll go back. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over to my good friend Brian. He is a wealth of knowledge and has amazing content. He's also our tech chair for the ALC and just all around badass. So here we go. Without further ado, take the floor.
Hey. Welcome to Ignite Session 9. So, like Shanna said, my name's Brian. Great to be with you guys today. We're gonna cover a quick topic of capturing more leads in our segment on lead generation. So kind of give me an overview of what you've gone through so far, if you can. What are some of the things that you've talked about with lead generation?
There's a lot of information, but,
Sure.
open houses,
Okay,
social media was yesterday.
cool. So yesterday was social media. What kind of things came out of that?
Posting, doing different types of posts,
Okay,
80-20, like 80% personal, 20% business.
got it.
Like a 5x5 rule, so posting 5 times a week, some sort of content, and then as well, going over 10, 5, and 1 for the oh gosh, what are they called? Success systems.
Right. Okay, so your 10-5-1 success systems. You've talked about so far just generating leads, growing your database a little bit, open houses, and then social media, right? So after this is essentially taking all of those things, and then we're just gonna figure out how to capture a whole bunch more leads with a bunch of different methods. So basically, some of the success system stuff that you guys have been going through, have you been going through it as well? You guys, Christina, Justin?
I've only been like once or twice, for the last 2 weeks.
Cool. So what are some challenges so far from the success system that you're having?
10 contacts a day.
Okay, why is that a challenge,
Um,
other than being here for 4 hours?
Me not going out of my way to meet new people.
Okay.
And then when I am, I realize that I don't have very many interactions with different people on a daily basis if I'm not lead genning.
Yeah.
I noticed in command, I didn't have near as many addresses as I thought I did. I went in there and even people I know very well. I
Mhm.
was like, I went to, send them the letters and the cards. And I was like, I'm gonna have to call half these people
Okay.
and get their address and it'll be awkward.
Cool. Did you do that?
What's that?
Did you do it yet?
I did start.
Did you? How's it going?
Contact, it's going okay. Most people will send it after, you can tell they're just kind of reluctant, you know what I mean? They're like, I don't know. But I've got a pretty good, spiel. I tell them I'm not adding them to any lists or anything.
Is this
I
people
just-
that you know?
Yeah, this is all, yeah.
Got it.
But some of them I'm not super familiar with. They're just, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Welcome, guys.
Sorry, slackers.
No, you're fine. You're on realtor time. I just like the rest of them. Love it. So how many of those addresses have you gotten so far?
Only like-
Just say this week.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was mostly last week. I haven't really done any this week.
So what's your goal for this week?
This week I will set a goal of 10 more.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I'll get them those cards too, the cards that we mail out.
So you're gonna get their address and mail a card
Yeah, I got the card sent out.
before the end of the week, 10 more,
Yes, that which would be tomorrow.
which is by Sunday, right? Give it through the weekend. You can do a little extra on the weekend.
I was gonna say, my eyes is like a little bit up.
Yeah, maybe by next week, right? A realistic, smart
Yeah,
goal.
so
Cool.
mail on Monday.
Right on. Anyone else with their success system having any issues, problems, any challenges that they're willing to share? And this isn't on yet, I guess. Maybe.
Seems like everybody's had a hard time getting that thing going initially.
Usually doesn't work right.
What was your name?
Clayton.
Click.
That should be good.
Let's do it.
I was like, I'm gonna look like bizarre if I don't just bring it up.
What is your name? Sorry,
Justin. Justin
Justin.
Long. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Justin.
Nice to meet you. I already got yours written down.
So, is this gonna work?
Yeah.
My goodness, we're in good shape now. All right, so here's some of those things that we're gonna cover today. Just kind of going left to right, but we're gonna go systems that work, prospecting versus marketing, a gold mine of referrals, as well as some more sources of potential leads, capturing every lead. We're gonna recap everything and then any ahas, and then we'll go straight into the success systems and give you a couple hours to do that. Do those things if you'd like to, or as for the afternoon. So any questions about any of that so far? So somebody read for me the quote on the screen, please.
You love people, but at the same time, you haven't yet learned to love hunting for them.
All right, cool. What's that mean to you?
You can be super social, but you gotta step outside of your comfort zone to go pull people in. There's a
Okay.
difference between being social and being purposeful with that socialization.
All right, how so?
Well, I gave the example in one class that I go to the same gas station every single morning. I talk to the same people there every single morning. So it's not like I don't talk to them or love them, but I haven't yet once asked for their name or their information.
Mhm. Okay. And in that,
And then-
and just for me in my brain, I automatically see a system,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yeah, and I have a good system for exchanging information. It's just always, you're in a hurry in the gas station in the morning, just taking the time. So, and not being disrespectful to them as well. But I just use that one because it's easy and I go there every morning.
Yeah, anyone else? Hunting for leads. What does that mean to you?
Prospecting.
Prospecting?
Doing any sort of lead gen that we've learned so far.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so number one job of a realtor, of course, is lead generation, right? So hunting for leads, in my opinion, when I go hunting, I'm not just hunting for the listing or the house or the whatever. I'm trying to just gather, right? I'm gathering all kinds of different, I kind of think back to the old story of the gingerbread house, right? The two little kids running through there and they had the bread on the ground and they were chasing the gingerbread crumbs to get to the gingerbread house, right? It's similar in the way of, as I'm going along, finding the next listing or whatever, I'm picking those crumbs up and I'm hunting along the way and gathering those different bits of data and information that I could potentially put into the database to help us out in the future. See, when we go hunting, we have to have different we have to use two different things. Whenever we go hunting for leads, we like to use a message and then a method. Cool. So what is a method? Sorry, I might be on the wrong page here.
That's our
No, no,
page
you're
too.
good. This is 9, 10.
A method is it's a road, it's a way to get to something, it's a way of doing something.
It's a system or a process
Okay, a system or process,
or a tool.
a tool,
Sometimes it's a tool.
sure. Okay, so the method, the two M's of lead generation are our message and our method. So our message is what?
What we're gonna say.
Okay, cool. So what are we gonna say? Our scripts, our MOFers, our value propositions, our what are we giving to our clients? All of those different things are our message. And then we choose the method in which we want to give that to our clients, right? So what are some methods that you currently use to get with your leads? Or your potential clients?
Calling
Facebook posts, okay?
Email.
Doing stuff with your sphere.
Doing stuff with your sphere. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, I just started a women's walking group on Facebook. I put out a message to see if there would be anybody interested in doing it. And I had a lot of feedback, so I started the group and I've got about almost 20 people in it now. And basically the idea of it is to provide, you know, some women are afraid to walk on trails and parks by themselves, so this gives them a walking buddy. And it also helps me connect with more people, and we figure out a date and time to go, and we've done one so far and it's been great.
Cool. Anyone else?
Emails,
Emails,
text messages, calling.
texts,
Well, we're
calls?
sending out a ton of mail in this class too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Got
we're
a lot of
doing,
mail?
what did Corey College call it? Happy Mail. We're doing Happy Mail. The brother of McDonald's Happy Meal, Happy Mail.
Yeah, so what are some important things about what you're saying when you're saying it to
Be
your clients?
genuine,
Being
be
genuine?
real,
Sure.
purposeful.
Purposeful? Okay, how so?
Mm.
And I know you're eating, I'm sorry.
Oh, Corey just said Happy Mail. Yes, Happy Mail. She's listening. Corey on.
You gotta unmute and talk to us. Otherwise, we're just gonna ignore you for the rest of the hour and 45 minutes.
We miss you.
Well, the only problem is if I unmute myself, my 5 children that are running around, you guys get to hear too.
Oh, we don't care. We're excited about the kids too.
That I'm making them all listen with me.
Right? So one of the things matching the market. So what are some things that you could say to a client that would match our current market?
Don't be afraid of interest rates.
Don't be afraid of interest rates, okay?
Yeah.
Sure.
They're actually not the highest they've ever been. Just don't be afraid of them.
Education
Education.
is a message in that. What are some other messages?
Houses aren't as inflated as what they were.
Houses aren't as inflated as what they were,
Yes.
okay?
Maybe some like averages.
Some statistics that you could pull down. Where could we get some of those statistics?
Landon.
Sure, yeah, great spot.
Yeah.
Landon, the MLS has market production, has your production. KWLS has some stuff in there if you can go into the different things. So when we make our message, what's one of the most important parts of the message? Number 2.
Making an offer.
Okay, so making an offer, what does that mean?
There needs to be a call to action in there.
Great, so we need a call to action. And what do you mean by that?
Something that requires follow-up from the person or follow-up from me that they hold me accountable. It has to get them moving and get them thinking at the next step.
Okay, cool. Can you give me an example?
Let's set up coffee for next Tuesday, or like being specific about a date or time, or hey, do you have 5 minutes to jump on a call? If we could do that Tuesday afternoon, or just whatever, just a call to action.
Here's a market analysis. I'll send it monthly or I'll check in on you.
Yeah, but that's just
quarterly with a
you
phone
calling to
call.
action. You need them to come back with something to keep them engaged.
Right.
I don't always want to promise without getting something back from them. Whether it's a day, a meeting or a phone call or something.
Yeah, and in that, there's a couple of different types of offer we can make, right? We can make an indirect or a direct offer. What's the difference in those? When you're saying a direct offer versus an indirect offer.
Direct offers, directly offering your services or
Okay.
value to,
How about call me now
Mhm.
is direct, or
tomorrow I'm going to call you.
will you call me? Some sort of call to action. Hey, click this button is more indirect, right? It's not you getting the info to them. It's not you sharing the message as much as it is them getting the message from you indirectly. See? So some of the things that we could generate a response according to the text here. This awesome house just came on the market. If you're looking for a home in the neighborhood, call me right away. Something like that. Do you need any home professionals or anything like that that we could help you with? That could get a call to action even in a nurture conversation.
Our guy's trailing in from Bolivar.
From Bolivar, welcome. I'm Brian. So now when we have the method, there's two primary methods of getting your message out to your target group: prospecting and marketing, which we covered earlier in the lead generation segment. So what type of prospecting methods did you come up with, or have you been using other than the direct mail? Since being in classes? Direct message? Cool. How's that working for you?
Pretty good.
Okay. And what is your call to action when you give a direct message? Or what has it been?
Mine, I think I said this before, but I have just basically said that I'm on a gratitude journey and just kind of getting that out there, like to get some feedback. And then once I get their address, then I can send more about why I'm reaching out to them
Mhm.
for business.
Okay. And it's working for you somewhat? We're adding people to the database? Good, good. So we're only gonna talk about the additional prospecting sources, not the stuff that you guys talked about. But when we're truly on the hunt for leads, we find all kinds of opportunities. So some of them that they talked about is potentially a coffee shop, and you overhear somebody talking about potentially buying or selling a house. So you could approach that with a conversation starter. I overheard you talking about an open house. Are you looking for a home in the area? Just a quick, hey, introduction. Hey, I'm Brian. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams. I just happened to overhear you talking about this. If you're bold enough to go have that conversation, that's one of those that you could potentially have. Second is to connect with individuals in a way that builds rapport and trust. One of the best ways that is to ask questions and look for opportunities to be a service or a value. And then we like to apply the Ford method. So what's the Ford method?
Family, communication, recreation, and dreams.
Okay, cool. So can you give me an example of a probing question that could get me through? Let's just start with F. Somebody give me a probing question that
How are
would
the
ask me
kids?
about my family.
How are your kids?
Great.
School went good?
It's going awesome.
What grade are they going into?
I'm gonna have a senior.
Ooh, mine just graduated.
That's fantastic.
Congratulations. It's gonna be a busy year.
Cool. So, somebody else.
How's real estate been?
It's been really busy.
With this market, it's still been busy.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, any occupation. You don't know me, right?
Right.
You don't know me that well.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
So what do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living? There's a way to get into it, open-ended. Hey, I'm a realtor. And then we could get into the question. What do you like to do for fun? What are some things that you and your family like to do? What are some things that you do in your off times? Different questions that we can move through those levels of learning about people and learning about what motivates them in creating our relationships. Any questions or anything so far? Let's go to AHA. We're moving quick through this stuff this morning. Let's take a few minutes and just discuss AHAs amongst each other. If we have any.
I like the direct call to action.
Okay.
I guess I haven't been thinking about doing it as a, you're demanding something from them.
Mhm.
So you're not just promising your services, you're also requiring them to do something for you. I like that.
Cool. So we're asking them to do something for us. What are some tangible ways that we can put that into practice? It's great to love the idea of it, but without coming up with something that you can do physically and execute on based off of that, it really doesn't help us much.
I just got done this morning. I went to a local hotel in Bolivar. It's kind of newer and just kind of introduced myself to their sales manager about just asked to look at some meeting rooms, just popped in, didn't tell her I was coming in at all. And then checked out some meeting rooms and just talked about, you know, possible room discounts for clients coming into town. And so we'll see where that goes.
What's your follow-up plan? That's gonna come next, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're gonna start thinking about next.
Yeah, you know.
And this is what your follow-up plan.
It's gotta be something simple, maybe drop by with a coffee.
I don't wanna go too far or too in depth, but like, once you've got it, then we've gotta kind of execute the next part of the plan, right? So I like to go down those roads sometimes.
So I noticed you're direct and specific
Yeah.
with your instruction. Is that, I mean, obviously you probably approach people the same way when you're trying to, you know, introduce yourself to them.
Excuse me, sorry. How do you mean?
Well, if I, like, when I told you what I was doing to get more mailer out, you asked me what was my specific plan, and I
Yeah.
honestly kind of rocked back. I'm like, I don't have a specific plan. But, so therefore, when you say that, it makes my mind generate one, and then I'm like, hey, why didn't I have one in the first place?
Hmm.
So if you approach somebody that wants to sell their home or is having a life event, I
Yeah.
imagine you would probably do that. You would say, what specifically, if they say, I want to move, you know, or just say something conceptually, you know, I want to move. I'd like to, you know, move here in a few years. You'd say, you start probably asking specific questions and making their mind work on it.
Depends. Right, so I'm very, I love the 6 qualifying questions from Shift. And Clay will tell you that we've talked about those several times. My favorite question is, what exactly are you trying to do? And then just shut up and let them tell you. You know? Because then you're gonna find, hey, I'm trying to move to the lake. Okay. How many bedrooms do you need?
I think it's just always a good idea to listen more and talk less.
Mm,
They don't want you to cram down their throat everything you are. I'm a this, I'm a that. I can help you with this. I can help you with that. Instead, just listen to them. You'll be able to figure out where you can help them if you just stop and listen. Listen to understand. Don't listen to respond either. Listen to truly understand what they're saying. Because when you said you had a senior, my mind went a million other directions. I just stopped talking though.
Sure.
Yeah, because that means, hey, he's gonna go off to school. Are you gonna stay in your same home? Are you thinking about moving? What are you gonna do? Downsize? You're gonna upsize? You're gonna have grandkids? What's going on?
But a lot of times if you listen, what happens?
I'm gonna already learn that without asking 200 questions and looking like I'm interrogating you. Because nobody wants to be interrogated. You start asking me too many questions, I'll just shut you down and stop talking to you.
Same way.
Hey, Justin, I did nothing different than I would do in a conversation. You told me something and I just said, how do you want to do it?
Yeah.
And then you gave me the plan. And it's no different with a client in a listing. You told me that you want to sell your house. How do you want to do it? When do you want to do it? How can I help you best?
And the funny thing about that is that sometimes they really haven't even thought through it. They know they want to do something, but if you sit there and keep feeding them stuff, then you don't give them space enough to tell you and to actually think through it. Because sometimes if you say, okay, well, that's great. What are you thinking? Oh, man, I don't know. Well, they have to know. Like, you can't help them if they don't know. So giving them space.
Yes.
I would just say, look for pain.
Thanks.
Listen and look for pain. And then remind them of that pain and then say, tell me more about that. Like, just get them to expound on whatever it is that's making them really, really uncomfortable. Whether it is, our family is outgrowing the house, or we're not gonna be able to afford to stay here after XYZ happens in our family. Like, get them to tell you all the things about the pain, and then you're presenting a solution and trying to help solve for the pain.
It's a good thought.
I always heard in sales, they say you're either running towards something or away from something else. So that reminded me of that when you said that.
For sure. Pain or pleasure, that's the two motivating factors in anything.
Anyone else? Anything else? Thank you all for sharing those. Those are great. So we discussed prospecting versus marketing earlier. Sorry, I skipped this earlier. But somebody give me this quote real quick.
Lead generation is a contact sport with simple rules. It means making contact with people through prospecting and marketing. Gary Keller said.
Okay, and what does that mean?
In order to get lead gen, you actually have to contact people. You have to do it, and it's very simple, but people make it hard because they put roadblocks in their minds in front of it.
Okay.
And to me, it's kind of physical. You've either got to make a call, you've got to make a conversation, you've got to go somewhere. It's very physical. So when I think about it, it's not conceptual. It's not just going to poof and happen because you thought about it. You have to do something. You have to be in action.
Yeah. What is lead generation at its basic definition?
Meeting new people.
Conversation.
Adding people to the database that are maybe looking to do something in the future?
Maybe.
Maybe.
You don't know.
Tell you about their friends that are gonna do something.
So when you're prospecting, what are some methods that you've used to prospect for leads?
Calling again.
Calling people,
Text,
okay, texting. What about marketing for leads?
Facebook.
Facebook. Cool, so we've got the differences. Kind of. Sorry, this thing. So. Have you seen this? Everybody's seen this chart, right? Have you seen this chart before in class? Or anywhere else? So everybody at your, everybody in your database is somewhere on this list. The question is, are they at the top, bottom, or somewhere in between? Everyone's timeliness and life experiences are different. It's your job to do the best to predict where they are always. So when do we prospect our leads? Or when do we prospect our database? Or when do we want to be in contact with people on their timeline?
All the time.
Okay, and
Every
why?
piece. Because you never know when, 7 to 10 years is a long span. Just even the 3 years between the two is a long time. So if you're in front of them, then they'll think about you whenever they decide their next step is, their next move is.
Yeah, so if I lose contact with somebody here, what's happening all along this way?
Somebody else is contacting them.
They say 12 databases on average that your people are currently in. So if you're not calling your
Somebody
people,
else is.
promise,
You
I'll
are.
text them or call them. I promise I will. And I'll be there when that time comes, or you will be, right? And that's okay too. I love the fact that there's so many people and there's so many houses and we can't all sell them all. So the beautiful thing is we can always have our own little slice of the pie. But when we're looking every 7 to 10 years in here, this is one of those interesting things. Has it still stayed 7 to 10 over the last like 5? Do we think average wise? I don't know. This I'm asking from. Okay,
What do you think it is?
what do you think it is?
I think it's every 5 years.
About every 5, maybe?
I'm on the every 25, I think.
I
I do not fit this.
want every like
I've had
20.
the same phone number, the same house, the same everything.
I'm thinking at least 2 to get like what, capital
Sure.
gains and then.
Yeah. I think that this 7 to 10 might come back quite frequently in the next 7 to 10. If it's not right now, 7 to 10, it might creep back
This
up
is
a little
probably
bit more.
historical average, which
Mhm.
probably will stand true for the test of
I
time.
think that this is gonna creep right back up there really quickly if it's not, or if it's stayed in there. So it's kind of one of those weird things. Some different things about prospecting versus marketing. Tell me about some of the benefits of prospecting.
It can be a good ROI.
Good ROI, why?
So if I sit there and burn an hour for free phone calling, I can pick up a couple leads. Or say I pick up a couple leads, all I spent was an hour of my time, I didn't spend a dime doing it. Whereas, and then in the same side, I could post something on Facebook, leave it up there for 5 days. And it's gonna cost me blank amount of money, might capture the same amount of leads or more, but it still cost me money.
Well, to me, for a new agent, you have time
Mm.
versus you may not have money. So prospecting is investing your time versus investing your money. And to me, prospecting is a much better foundation because you can't battle money. Somebody's gonna have more money, send more cards, but you can devote time. So.
Yeah, so we want to build our businesses prospecting based and then marketing enhanced. Is the overall premise, and that's exactly why, is because it is less, it is more cost effective. It's also a little bit more proactive. I can jam through 100 cold calls if that's what I'm doing for that day in pretty quick amount of time if I want to. I can go through a bunch of handwritten letters fairly quickly if I wanted to do those. I would consider those a little more marketing than prospecting, but it's just passive.
50-50.
Kind of halfway, but yeah, absolutely. So some different prospecting ideas. Somebody give me a few of those that tried and give me some ideas of how you've done it and how it's worked for you.
Well, circle prospecting and door knocking.
Okay.
And around open houses. Just, letting the neighbors know that you're having an open house.
Yep.
Going door to door.
Going door to door and letting everybody in the neighborhood know you had an open house. How's it worked for you?
I've had neighbors show up because I invited them to it.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Any of these methods?
Yeah, with the letters in the mornings, I've been dropping them off at my neighbor's house before I go for a run. I'm walking to warm up, so I'll just drop them off, saves me stamp, and all I have to do is sit on the doorstep.
I do a lot of commercials, so just networking events. You're not gonna prospect commercial clients the same as you do
Mhm.
residential, so you've got to be connected. If you're not connected, you're not relevant, so.
Okay. Community outreach?
That and relationships, if you don't have relationships with lenders, mortgage company, or title companies, et cetera, you're missing the boat, because those should be like in your back pocket, but they also are great. Prospecting from the standpoint of they get asked all the time too, just like everyone else, who do you use for X? And being that name that they would give.
Yeah, so some different things that I just look at, and I'm gonna go through some things that we use and do not necessarily, and here's the thing. We want to have so many levers. How many levers should you probably have in your lead gen? Huh?
Many as you can get.
As many as you can get. Okay, that's one answer. And I'm kind of on that bike too sometimes. Go ahead.
3 that you're continually pulling on.
Yeah, the top 3 to 4 sources, and 4 is always chosen for you. What is it?
Your SOI.
Your sphere. So you don't get to choose that one. If you're not prospecting and marketing to your sphere, then you're probably, I don't think you're gonna last long in the business. You have to talk to people that you know already, because they're gonna be your quickest and easiest source of business, pretty much whatever. So, for sale by owners, who calls for sale by owners? Everybody? Do you?
I have not yet.
So not everybody,
I don't.
right?
Never have.
Never have, okay. I have a little, I've converted one, one for sale by owner.
I guess I take that back. The only time I've called for sale by owners is when I have a buyer that's specifically looking for what they want. And I have no problem calling them because it's a totally different conversation.
Yep. Yep, and I was on that boat with you, and it's a really difficult, because you feel like maybe they're being bombarded. So I created a new system for that. It starts with a postcard, and then goes from there. Postcard, ebook, text, call, those type of things, and potentially email if I can get it along the way. But because of those fears, I just added a system to get the fear out of my way of calling them. They've already got a postcard from me 3 days earlier and it's still on the market. Okay, now I'm gonna call them. So, hey, you got that postcard from me the other day. Maybe it's a little bit softer conversation. That's one way to get out of that. Circle prospecting, I've done quite a bit of. In the past, it's been very useful for me in the sense of gaining information to add to the database to nurture for long-term. Now, I have lucked into a listing or two by doing that, but it's very, very rare. So community outreach, some of us went to Red Day. That was great. Amy put on an awesome thing.
You did.
And all of the people there, I had a great conversation with this old man that was retired from the Navy. We stood and sanded boards all day together. And I gave him a coin at the end of the day, one of the coins that I have. Great opportunity and thank you for providing it for all of us to meet people and those type of things, going to different charity organizations, volunteer work, key relationships. Of course, we talked about teaching and speaking opportunities. Quantum Leap's an opportunity to get out in the community, teach what we learn here, and potentially gain leads or referrals from other people and partners. Personally, I've got a scheduled Quantum Leap down in San Antonio, Texas with one of the military bases down there. I'm gonna bring in an agent and introduce the class to that person and then potentially work a referral deal out on anything that comes out of it. So teaching and speaking opportunities, meals, all of those different things are opportunities that you can prospect, add people to the database, nurture the relationship, be valuable to them. And then when the time's right, ask for their business. Go ahead.
On the key relationships, if you don't have a large sphere, join a local networking group. And if the realtor spot in the networking groups is usually very difficult to come by, because when somebody gets in, they kind of hold their spot, but you could always form your own group. So you want these allied partners. For me, when I was getting started, I'm very much like education, sphere of influence, and I'm not from this area. So joining the networking group, I still have relationships with probably 5 or 6 of the people that were from that group, and they're a consistent form of referral for me.
I was curious about starting a networking group because in Bolivar they have like one, but it's all these old farmer boys and they don't
You
do
should
anything.
Do it, find a
Yeah.
lender you want to partner with and a title company person that you want to partner with. And I don't know,
Man, home inspector.
handyman, all the industries that you like working with and you handpick, because you're going to be giving referrals to these people. So it's nice when you form your own group because you get to cherry pick who you want to be in business with and who's going to give the business back to you.
Even a realtor that starts it.
Exactly.
Nobody's stopping you from doing
You're in, girl,
anything
you're in.
except for you. Like, no matter what, nobody's stopping you from starting a networking group
Yes.
except you.
And think about it this way, they all have to eat lunch.
Yes.
Forget the chamber. You don't need their permission.
Make it breakfast, make it lunch,
them.
everybody
They're
eat.
nobody.
No, and I promise you, if you're
They're
sitting
already
there looking
overrun.
at it and going, I don't want to join the networking group, it's a bunch of old farm boys, so are a whole bunch of other people in that community. So you start it, they will come.
Go knock on all the boutique doors and network group with them. There's like CBC or something. They come out to Stratford every Friday and at the coffee shop, they got a little cool group. The lady, I don't know, I think she does well, but she started a network and it's paid. She just goes around and has networking things all the time. I don't know, I've never been, but it's always crowded with people. Just start it up and do it. So when we go to marketing, what are some of the things about marketing that are important or that you've learned so far?
Being intentional.
Being intentional about your marketing. Okay, how so?
I guess making the most of the time you have to market yourself.
Okay,
To me, it has to be easy to understand.
has to be easy to understand. Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it has to be something, I mean, you can spend a lot of money and people don't look at it, they throw it right in the trash. So it
Yeah.
has to be something that catches their eye that's useful or something. I mean, I used to tell this story all the time. So for probably for 5 years, we sponsored the weather at Table Rock Lake.
Mhm.
The family pharmacy did. And then we stopped. And I still, for probably 6 years, had people call me and say, thank you for sponsoring the weather. We hadn't sponsored it, but you also have to stay consistent. I tell this story because of consistency. If we had not done that every single day, 20 times a day for all of those years, then it would not have worked. But you have, that's the one thing with marketing, you kind of have to stay behind it and you have to do it consistently. You have to do it often, which means you have to have a budget to do that. So
Yeah. Yeah, so when we have this list of marketing levers up here, what do you see that's missing? What's missing from the list? Anything? Plus they added it. Social media is not up here?
it's on there.
It is.
Is it? They added it, sweet. So has anybody ran Facebook ads in Command?
Not in Command, but I've ran Facebook ads.
How are they for you?
I haven't ran them for real estate or ran them for gymnastics, but it's hit or miss. You'll get the people who get ticked off at you. Stop spamming like Linda Revore, right now, the Revore team, I hate them. I say that tongue in cheek because every time I'm trying to watch something, they're gonna pipe in almost every single time. So you'll upset some people.
Yeah, you guys saw my video yesterday? Anybody see my
Yes.
video? That's a legit call I got yesterday morning from a
Wondering
from
if
a
that
Facebook
was
ad.
Real or if it
And
was
it was
like.
on
That
my,
was funny.
it was hilarious. I
It was
died laughing whenever I picked up my phone after, I mean, of course I sent it to voicemail. I didn't know who it was. A little bit later, it comes up, come on through. You guys can come on in, sit down, learn.
So somebody actually.
Oh
said
yeah,
that?
somebody left that on my voicemail. It was great.
Oh my.
So I said, shoot, I'll just use it. Why not? You left it for me, whatever.
Everybody see
I
it.
kind of want to tag the guy.
You'll have to tell the people who didn't.
I'll have to
watch
show
the
you
video.
guys.
I saw it, I saw it, but I thought it was just, to advertise for this, so I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah, no, it was very real.
Your face though, I was almost like, okay, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just cut them together and
Yeah.
had some fun with it. But
The statistic is 4 out of 100.
4 out of
Are like-
100.
Are like viable, actual interested in doing something, and then maybe 2 of those will get qualified
Mhm.
and maybe 1 closing. So, I mean, if you don't have a large sphere of influence, it's just a numbers game, right?
And then how much do you think that costs you through Command? And I'm not advertising for Command. I don't care how you do it or what you
I feel
pay.
like it's like
Pennies.
$25 maybe for.
$3 a lead.
Yeah, I
Right
was
now
gonna
is my
say it's
average.
pennies.
It was less last year. It was like 98 cents a lead last year, but let's be real, lead generation got a little more expensive this year. So it's like 317, 320 a lead is what I'm currently getting. I have 3 really good listing prospects right now from these Facebook leads and callbacks and face-to-face appointments. I've been on 5 appointments this year from Facebook leads. Okay, there are absolutely valid, useful, great leads that come out of your Command Facebook advertising if you put your advertising together appropriately, and then put them on a good follow-up plan, right? Because if you don't call them, they won't talk to you, and if they don't talk to you, they're gonna give you somebody else. But I swear, it's a very useful way. If you don't have people in your database right now to talk to, put $100 into a Facebook ad. Get 30, 40 people to call over the next 10 or 12 days. It'll give you something to keep you busy, and you're gonna get somebody on the phone that's gonna do business soon.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
ask you what your Facebook ad was?
So the one right now was on a listing from La Siesta, a house that I listed a couple weeks ago. So I ran it for 10 days. It basically says something along the lines of Willard Schools, check out this house. Couple of emojis, a pointy finger towards the learn more button, a lot of pointing emojis towards the learn more button so that they click it. And then they have to click twice, so they're really serious when they get you, like Scooby was. He was really serious. But yeah, and most people aren't like that. Like I've got a call back for Monday for a $600,000 listing off of a Facebook lead, a potential buyer. So they're very good if you use them and if you follow up with them. I say very good. They're good. It's a good way to get into business and talk to people.
Rob Luck is my team lead,
Yeah.
and he did some kind of beta test for Command on Facebook dynamic leads,
Sure.
and I just call them Sub-Zero, because like, they're colder than cold, but it still gives me like practice,
Yeah.
just even like
I
putting my
called,
script together out of nothing,
I
so.
called a 6-month-old Facebook lead last week and set an appointment.
Oh my gosh.
Hadn't talked to him in 6 months. Or I don't even know if I've ever talked to him, to tell you the truth. I just happened to, he come across my task list. I made the phone call and we set an appointment. So they're out there.
What are some examples of like open-ended emails? Cause like if I don't get them or if their voicemail's full or whatever, then I just.
I'll give you
for
specific
email.
examples here in a little bit. How's that? I'll actually give you the plan.
Okay.
How about that? So then you can use it. It's free. It's in command. I'll just show it to you. You can have it. So prospecting versus marketing, farming. Who's into farming? I got chickens.
I was gonna say, I like all of it.
No, farming a area, right? So picking one area,
Talk about AI and how to farm and.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh,
I don't know how to get into, well, I could probably figure it out pretty quickly.
Amy's
but-
been on a AI call and I've been listening in because they're talking about just AI
gosh.
farming and it's like, we're gonna have to go watch it back about 6 more times.
What?
Cause it's
We need
so,
we need a little
you
like.
doing
can
one next
set
month.
up,
We're
You're
doing an
doing
AI talk next week.
when, oh, in July?
Cole Porter and I are gonna both,
Good.
It's
kind of teach a
insane.
little bit. And please, if you've got experience, please,
I
I'd love to
don't.
have it.
I'm learning.
And
We're trying
anything
to.
that you're learning, because we're all learning it.
So
Well, that's
basically,
gonna be a big
So-
game changer. I mean, you're
Yes.
gonna have to step up your game.
Oh, you better
Here's the
step up your
deal.
game around me. I've got 9 new smart plans that I wrote this week. Like, you cannot beat me right now with
Can't
getting
outwork
quicker.
you. Yeah,
Huh?
outwork you, right?
No, because I'm just prompting
Mhm,
Yeah.
appropriately.
mhm.
So we're talking ops manuals, like I said the other day.
yeah.
We're talking checklists.
So these
We're
people
talking-
were like, figure out who your ideal, you can use ChatGPT or one of these
Mhm.
services to help you figure out who your ideal client is,
Mhm.
whether it's buyer or seller, like what are you targeting? And then it creates an avatar for you based on prompts that you give it.
Yeah, that's Agent GPT, and I need an IT person
Uh-huh.
because I spent 3 hours on a Sunday trying to hook my laptop up to some sort of GitHub or something. And it wouldn't connect appropriately, but Agent GPT is gonna be a game changer.
Yeah.
It's gonna be to where I can reach out into the
Uh-huh.
interweb and actually it'll pull lists of people who might be moving in the near future and I can call them, or it can call them for me.
But if you can figure out who your ideal person is that you're
Mhm.
trying to attract, all your marketing you're creating is designed towards that person. And it's like, it'll create an avatar, like it'll give it a name and it'll give you a whole backstory on the person. And it's like, this is who you are talking to. And like, the more niche you are with your marketing,
It's so
the
great.
more you're attracting that sort of person.
Sick.
Like
It is
cash
so
buyer,
sick.
cash buyer.
That's why we're gonna have to rewatch these over and over until it just,
And I haven't done it yet.
she did
You have to
she did a class.
you have to design it, like you gotta figure it out and design it for what you want it to be.
That's
I haven't
awesome.
done it yet, but I'm super like mind blown and
Was that on Agent GPT or was it?
no, they were
ChatGPT
using chat, they were using
They're
chat
using chat.
GPT and they were using Bard,
Mhm.
Google
Yeah.
Bard, like storytelling.
That's awesome.
This is over my head.
It's not though.
Corey, you better be listening.
I know I
Bugging me
can
about
figure it
all the
out,
time.
but
Oh my gosh, this whole AI thing, it's like over my head. Can't even grasp it.
It's not.
Like I told you, little AI dude in there. Slash Clayton,
Clayton knows how to do it.
right?
So I'm just gonna show you. Can you see, Corey? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Okay, ask me another question, please. So this is something that I prompted ChatGPT to do this week, okay? I'm gonna provide some market statistics. This is what I want, 17 social media posts, a 3-minute blog post with emojis to 50. I wanted 250, but I was talking to my computer, so it gave me 50 characters or less. Okay? I put all these cool statistics straight out of Somo, and now I have a great little blog post that ChatGPT generated for me.
Yep.
It's almost like you programmed it, like almost DOS based.
And then there's your,
Oh my goodness,
All
there's
your
all of my social
emojis
media
for you.
posts that are gonna do it for me with all of those. Another blog post, I didn't like it. I wanted for the rest of June and July, so then I went into Command yesterday and I plugged these into Command to social post outward for me in the future.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. It's overwhelming.
Here's your housing market outlook.
That's right.
Here's one of my smart
Pay
plans.
for it and mess around with it.
Like,
Or
here's-
don't pay for it, use the free one and just figure it out and then
Don't mess
pay
around
for
with
it.
it.
Yeah, it's only $20 a month once you
Yeah.
do pay for it.
But you can do a
but-
whole bunch of stuff for free before you pay.
This is a 4-year quarterly text plan that I had ChatGPT come up with me and then turned it into a communication plan inside of CRM. So we'll get into
I'm
that
just
later.
saying, Brian, I will pay you to sit down with me and show me that.
You know, we're gonna do it for free next month, right here in the Market Center for everybody. Because I think it's a tool that everybody needs
What
to
day are
use
you
or at least
doing
know.
Corey, that's because you
14th.
can't afford me.
July 14th.
I think
Dude, I'll
something
pay
like
you.
that.
If you can do the same thing, I'll pay either one of you. I don't care.
Yeah, but anyway, let's keep moving a little bit. Sorry to get on a different,
That was crazy.
It's relative.
It's relative.
It's all marketing
It is,
or prospecting, either way.
or just communication in general.
Right. Building relationships, yeah.
All right, any thoughts so far on that?
Yeah, it is AI.
Agent AI, that's crazy.
I mean, I've been kind of playing around with
OpenAI.com.
GPT, but the agent GPT.
You know, once I can't, again, I gotta hire an IT person to come in and hook my computers up to it. But as soon as I can get all of that done,
You need one? Okay. I'll give you
I've
one.
got one for you too.
please, I'd love to, because I'd love to have it where I can at least play with, so you can play with the free versions on that, and then it shuts you down too quick. Because the things that I want are very detailed, but, you know. So what are some ahas about prospecting and marketing as lead gen activities?
Our ever-changing world's gonna make that fun.
It's endless.
Endless.
Endless. Endless. I love the fact that I can just use data and I don't even have to really think of the words to put it together. I promise you though, when I read through it, I look at it and I'm like, I don't like that. This doesn't sound like something that I would write. Then I take it and I'm like, well, why don't you put it in the voice of somebody from Southwest Missouri with a high D on the disc? And then it rewrites it
Yeah.
like that.
I was
Rewrite
telling
this
them
down
the other
for
day,
being free or-
or don't say modern, not rustic,
Yep.
not, you can just say, I don't want this word.
Get rid
And
of
it,
nestled.
yeah, don't say cozy, and it will just rewrite it.
It's so cool, isn't it?
You can also say female, you can say, write it from a female perspective, write it from a male perspective, write it from a military perspective, and it
Casual,
will
formal.
rechange it and it will put it.
I'm fairly systematic in the things that I do. I think that our job is very inefficient. The job of a realtor in general is extremely inefficient. We do everything
just saying this.
from start to finish. There's no job or profession in this world where you do everything start to finish. There's just not one, right?
And you have to change your entire schedule and run when they say run sometimes.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's super inefficient. These type of things can make your life more efficient.
The
When
ops,
you
the
build
ops person in
those-
me is like, we've got to come up with better systems so that we're not just running around like crazy and the systems are working for us. Because
Mhm.
right now, there's many days where I'm just like, this is the most inefficient thing in the world.
Yeah, and absolutely, just the job in general, I pulled up a flow chart and stuck it on Clay's desk this morning, so we can kind of go through the transaction flow. Man, it's just a mess sometimes. But when you can add these different systems or when you're talking about your lead gen or your prospecting activities, if your activities are systematic and purposeful, the rest of your day, the rest of your life, the rest of your job is better. I truly believe that. And I know that from experience, because I've lived through figuring it out to learning how to put a system in there, all while doing a pretty decent amount of production at the same time. So lots of hours of no sleep to do the things that I've done in the time that I've done it. It's okay to ramp those up a little slower together so that you can be more purposeful in your life. But anyway, that's just some of the things that I went through whenever I was a young agent 2 years ago. So let's go to the gold mine referrals. What are some ways that we can get referrals?
Sphere of influence.
Okay, sphere of influence, clients, vendors, agents, other agents. So as mentioned earlier, top agents rely on their sphere and clients as their greatest source of referrals. Some agents say 90% of their business comes from referrals. It begins with setting the expectation with your sphere that your business runs on referrals, and you need to trust them to provide referrals of people that they know who have a real estate need. So what do I mean by that? We're looking for someone, the expectation with your sphere that your business runs on referrals. We just talked about this a little bit ago, and I have a little bit different mindset, but starting with the expectation with your sphere that your business runs on referrals means basically telling them, asking them, providing value. Who's read Jab, 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 Right Hook? Or anybody? Gary Vaynerchuk wrote it, one of my favorite books. I read it like 4 years ago. The whole premise, I'm gonna tell you this entire thick book in 3 seconds. Give, 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 then ask for business. And that's it. Don't expect. Give without expectation. Ask for their business whenever they're giving you the opportunity to ask for it. And if they say no, say thank you and continue to give. And that's it. So when it comes to referring with my clients or my sphere, it's how do I provide value? What can I provide to you? I watched a KW.com or YouTube video with Adam Grady's team. Adam was on it. And he was talking about an ISA being able to make $100,000 a year in just 4 hours a day. And the entire conversation, get on YouTube and watch this, like 5 or 15 minutes, it's great. And the whole thing was just providing value to the people that you talk to and asking them if you can help them with something. And when they say yes, being there for them. I did that with that text plan. So I took that text plan and I said, hey, I want it to say this. The first 20 that I sent out, I got 4 back. Yeah, I'm actually looking for a concrete guy. Yeah, I'm actually looking for a florist. Yeah, I'm actually looking for a tree guy. Just instantly. I said, man, why wasn't I doing this a year ago? Why didn't I automate this a year ago? Is the other question. So again, looking at efficiencies. So asking for people's business and providing value along the way. Getting referrals does mean asking for them though. Not just once, every time you connect with someone. What are some ways that you've gotten referrals from past clients or from Sphere? Anyone?
Groups that they're in.
Groups that they're in? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Family members.
Family? Past clients are they're a huge source of the leads that we get for sure. How do you, go ahead.
When I have my events, I always tell them, bring a friend or family. Who do you know that I need to meet? Bring them along to the event. And so then that's kind of like a nice, the client brings someone and then you get to add them to your database and you've made it's been a warm introduction.
Yeah, when do we want to ask for referrals though? Like what's like the best time?
After a happy moment.
Anytime somebody's happy. Every time somebody's happy. So what are some of those moments?
Closing.
Closed.
Just closed.
Under
Great time.
contract,
Oh, under contract.
clear to close.
Clear to close. What about when you resolve the inspection notice? Man, that was really tough. You know how hard I worked for you? Yeah, you don't have to go that route, but you know, it's something along the lines of that. But anyway, what about a promise script? Has anybody ever heard of a promise script? If you haven't, YouTube it. There's a great company out here that does it. I've printed it and studied it and tried to incorporate some of those things into my business, but it is I think it's one of the best expectation setting scripts that you can have with a client. Basically, the premise is we're going to give you such great service that you're going to give us referrals. And if you don't give us referrals, we're going to ask you why. And that's it. It's a lot more to it than that. But if you listen to it, you'll find it on KW's website, YouTube as well, as a potential script that you can put into your conversations. It will help to get referrals. So rewards for referrals, what does that mean? Anybody give me rewards or anything for referrals? Okay, what do you do?
I got a referral from one of my ex-bosses and I sent him a thank you card with a little $10 gift card to Andy's for sending it to me.
$10 gift card to Andy's?
Mhm.
Okay.
More referrals their way.
Mhm. More referrals their way.
You scratch my back, I scratch
Yeah.
yours.
I take my referral, past clients to dinner. I give them a $200 gift card and I mail it to them. And I say, you're only allowed to use this when you invite me. And we go to dinner. We went to dinner this Saturday night with a past client.
That's fun.
Actually, a friend who referred their mother to us. We took them out to dinner this weekend. I think that you treat your referrers better than you do your clients. And if they're willing to give me business, well, by God, I want to go hang out with them. They're probably willing to hang out with me. So I just send a gift card for dinner. And there you go. We'll go to Big Whiskey's or we'll go to wherever that night that you want to go. I don't know where that came from. That's different. Sometimes these don't match. I'm sorry, guys.
We don't match in our books sometimes either.
Okay,
Don't worry about
cool.
it. That's okay.
Good,
This is the flexibility class. We're pretty.
good. I like it. Does anybody need a break? We've been here about an hour. We can take like 10 minutes, 5 minutes? Yes, 5 minutes, please.
I have given so many referrals to my mail girl and my health insurance guy, but I never got anything from them, but I just keep giving them.
But have you asked for anything from them? Because remember I told you that I ran $100 million a year business and I told every vendor that came in, if we only do business with people who do business with us. So I'm telling you, if you don't ask, they don't know that you need their business or want their business.
They don't think about it.
Yes, they don't think about it because they have 50 real estate agents, but I guarantee you, some of
I
them are
gave
probably
them
asking, some are
my
not, right?
cards and like everything, give my cards and even my insurance guy.
Keep giving them,
Wrote
because they
him
maybe
one of the
haven't had
cards.
somebody, yeah.
I even thanked him for like him helping me and then was like asking him if you'll help me in return, here's a couple more of my cards.
Yeah, I got
We'll
your,
see.
there was something on there was a mistake on it.
Have they refunded? No, I gotta go.
Has anyone
I just haven't.
said,
On that
I got
custom,
your card.
Did
like the
you-
different ones and
They sent me an
stuff.
email like 3 days ago.
Oh,
I just
okay.
haven't had
Oh,
a
okay,
chance. It's
okay.
like, hey, it's the bleed or whatever.
Corinne
Just
said
need
she's
to
been
adjust
getting
one
people
thing.
like, I love the happy
I just haven't
mail.
shown
Yes, yeah.
I'll forward it to you.
You make me cry.
I just-
Thank you so
I
much.
didn't know
And then some were like,
when they're coming in.
we hadn't
Years ago.
thought of that memory in so long, thank you for reminding me.
Okay, I
Like,
was
I
like,
thought that was really
thank
cool.
God you didn't just pay me.
They just
I was
keep
like, there's no way.
Texting you
But
pictures.
no, I was
Keep
gonna
doing it.
drop and
Yeah.
stack
Keep
off
working.
at my barbers.
Hmm.
They were just,
Maybe.
yeah,
Something will come up.
because,
Yep.
sorry, I was talking to my buddy. But did you see my text? Owns
Sam, I was willing to share.
acres right
It's better than
across
gas
from
station food, it's Chick-fil-A.
Mm,
in Ozark.
mm.
And so either
I just knew you had been
a
rushing.
sale or even trying to figure out, connect them with a builder, something
Maybe. Yeah, we'll definitely have
along
to
those lines, because it's
find out what they're wanting.
right in the middle of Ozark too. Cool. This week.
That's awesome. Good job.
Hey, thanks for pouring into us today.
Well, thank you guys for participating and
Will you
being
put
here
your number
because.
on the board for us though? Because I
Sure.
know we've kind of asked everybody to do that, but I was in here late, so.
Yeah,
Did you recently do a deal with a client named Norm?
yeah, I like Norm.
That's my partner's uncle.
Really?
Yeah,
Norm's a great dude.
he is great.
He's so funny.
He is funny.
Yeah.
He sent me from that toy store that he
Mm-hmm.
works at sometimes.
Yeah, I went over there and bought something from him.
I
While he
can
was
nerd
working
out
on
in
the-
there all day.
Yeah, one of our friends was having a birthday party. I went in there and bought him something.
I got my son a gift card there for Christmas. He still hasn't been. I'm like,
Yeah,
give it to me, give it back.
that was a fun transaction.
Yeah.
Somebody stole his oven out of the house. Yeah. Somebody, a contractor or something left the house open and the oven and stove got stolen. So when we got the appraisal report, it said no oven on there. I'm like,
Well,
"Wow."
that's weird.
Yeah, so I had to make a phone call. The agent's like, yeah, we were hoping you wouldn't find out. I'm like, The appraiser put it on there. They were replacing it already.
Oh.
They were just hoping that I didn't find out that it had
Oh, no.
been missing, but the only reason I found out is because I paid attention to the appraisal. So otherwise, I would have never known.
Oh, gosh.
All right, let's keep moving. So client referrals can come from agents as well. What are some reasons an agent might refer you a lead?
They don't want to drive there.
Yeah. Me,
It's commercial.
it's commercial, sure. Yep. Price points, I'm not luxury, I'm not gonna go, I would refer it out before I would take the listing probably. If it was a luxury listing, it's not something that I know enough about yet. So, and that's okay, I'm willing to learn, but go ahead.
And people from other areas, they've got clients, they're selling their house elsewhere, they need to
Mhm.
find a buyer's agent here to help their client, and they may go searching on social media.
Social media searching for somebody coming in. Yeah. How many of you in here send agent to agent referrals or have sent this year?
I have a nightmare one.
Okay, cool. And when you send them, do you send them through Command or do you go through whatever other systems? So Command has a cool little map where you can find people and sort and filter and all of that to find different agents in other areas. That's one of the coolest things about social media, I think, is people always put on there when they're thinking about moving, even if they're not here. And we've all got friends in other places of the world. So I slide right into the DMs. How can I help you in the area that you're going to? And how can I connect you with an awesome agent there? And then actually do the work, like interview them or call them or text them and make sure that they're not, they're what your client needs. I had a referral out to Phoenix or somewhere in Arizona. Anyway, turned into, it was a part-time agent that I called first, and my people were moving from Korea. So it wasn't gonna work for them. So they needed to have a full-time person. No problem. Hey, this isn't gonna work out with you. I gotta find somebody else. Luckily, she connected me with somebody else. So it just worked out. I don't know if they worked something out on the back end, but making sure you're top of mind. I get a lot of agent postcards and stuff in the mail from different agents that I've met, or through different emails lists that we've sent from different agents. But grow, this is the essential agent-to-agent referral model because we have one. Grow, maintain, and manage all of the referral agents in your network. And the tools we have can help you systematize that network and be purposeful about it through using your CRM or whatever.
Family reunion and mega camp are huge for this. When you meet people in person, you collect them, you add them to your database, and you stay in touch with them.
Yeah, on this referral map too, you can find referral patterns. So if you go in there and you just search it and play with it a little bit, up here where it says production, this little drop down, there's a pattern, and you can say inbound or outbound. And then you can see where the most referrals that are coming to our area are coming from on the map. And then potentially market in those areas. I have ran ads for listings in California based off of that referral map and actually got incoming people to click on my ads. So one way to try to get. So KW, when it comes to agents is worldwide. And I think what, 200 country to 50 plus regions, including US and Canada, Puerto Rico, Germany, all kinds of different places throughout the world. There are KW agents that we can refer business to and from. B2B referrals. What are some ideas that you could get, or people in your lives that you would do business with that you could potentially get referrals from?
Insurance agent.
Insurance agent.
I work for dental clinics for.
Dental clinics. Yeah. Lenders.
Everyone.
Everyone, anyone and everything, everyone that we talk to. Yeah, business owners are gonna refer clients to you, handymen, painters, all of those things. My phone has gotten so robust with just people in it from doing this job and collecting different contractors' information and different people that I can learn and meet and get to know and hopefully trust enough to put them into our world so I can give them, it's not just anybody is what I'm saying. I try to make sure that the people I'm referring to are actually going to do a good job because the reflection's on me all the time, so. Take 2 minutes really quickly in your guide and just write down like 7 or 10 businesses that you want to connect with in the next 2 weeks. How many have we got so far? 6? In my opinion, it's never enough just to write the list. I think you got to get a little creative with it, but how are you going to actually contact and how are you going to provide value to their business as well while asking for referrals? Or what are some ideas anyway that you could potentially do, ask, or give to another business in order to maybe gain some referrals from them as
I'll pick
well?
on Sam. Sam could invite them to her new network she's forming in Bolivar.
Mm-hmm. Your new network group?
Talk about some sort of event that you could hold together.
An event that you can hold
Co-sponsor?
together? Sure. Co-sponsor an event?
If you like made like a neighborhood flyer with different contractors on them, like mower, landscaping, mowers, home repairs, things like that,
Mhm.
and send it out.
Okay, a list, a contractor list to send out? What about arrange for discounts? Like what about, I got a mailer a while back from the oil change joint in Stratford. Said that I could get an oil change, it was a coupon for like $40. I went to Chip, the owner of Advance, and I asked him, I said, hey Chip, how much that cost you to send to me? He said, I don't know. I said, what if I just sent a picture of that out to my database and offered him a 10% off of the next oil change? Okay, go for it. I sent a text with his coupon, boom. Gives me some communication, business to business referral. My people get a discount. Sounds like a win-win, right? So if somebody wants to take advantage of that, they can go take advantage of their 10% discount on their next oil change. Those type of things that you can create the relationships that are actually going to bring them business too.
So you chipped in at 10 on top of their 40 or what?
No, I didn't do anything. It was $40 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I didn't chip in anything. He just gave the discount. Whatever was on the card is what I sent out.
Oh,
Just took a picture of it and sent it out to my entire database.
Market it to a wider network than what he did, because he probably only mailed it
He
to.
just mailed it to Stratford and I'm sure it cost him.
You sent it everywhere.
And then I sent it even further out. Same with our moving company partners. When I have a buyer consult, I give a moving company discount. Those type of things, right? So cleaning services, all of those. Let's go through any ahas on that section. Real quick, we talked about client referrals, agent referrals, worldwide referrals, and then business referrals. What are some ahas as referrals as a lead gen source?
I liked your idea about the discount, being able to reach out to your database with it. You're giving something of value when you're providing service, or providing business for another company.
Anything else?
I think it's always good to help those who will help you and vice versa. So if you're already using services with people, figure out a way that you can mutually help each other.
Yep. Yeah, mutually beneficial relationships always last, don't they?
I
They tend to. If it's one way, somebody's dropping off.
Just be a taker.
That's right. So a couple more sources that we're gonna talk about. We talked very quickly about geofarming and then events and seminars. So some agents choose to focus on their prospecting and marketing efforts in a specific neighborhood or set of neighborhoods, which is known as their targeted geographical farm. Who's familiar with Nextdoor? Anyone? Nextdoor, the website? Yeah, so Nextdoor is integrated into our CRM, into Command CRM. So when you put an address in there, it'll pull up the neighborhood and all of that automatically for you. It's the same thing on its own standalone website. But when you choose to farm a neighborhood, be aware it doesn't necessarily yield immediate results. So the lead source is more of a long game, and you have to be committed to keep working in your farm once you begin. Choosing the farm involves some considerations such as the number of houses and the turnover rate, price point, and several competing agents in the area may also affect your decision to farm it as well. Who's selected a farm or a geographical farm that you really target? Anyone? Have you?
Well, I've started.
Yeah,
in a
good.
Neighborhood in Republic.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. And what are you doing?
I door knocked the other night
Fantastic.
and I'm sending out cards to everybody.
Is that who you're sending your Ignite cards out to? Great. Mhm.
Last time I did my sphere, so this time I'm doing my neighborhood.
Nice.
So.
I guess I'm doing the same thing right where I live. We moved here about a month ago and I used ChatGPT to write me a cute little friendly letter that I just write dear neighbors on the letter. It doesn't have any postage, anything. Only thing that I hate is it's got a big old KW logo on the front of it. Instead of just being a red or a black card and then just laying it on people's doorstep. So, yeah. But
I might find that 6 years from now, I never use my front door.
Yeah, I don't know. I use the back door to the house.
yeah.
So-
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not.
But
I
if you
just lay it in
actually came
front
out
of the
to my
garage.
house, you had to have a purpose because it's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lay it in front of the garage because everybody
Oh.
walks in front of their garage, whether they're going in the
That's
front
smart.
door or whether they go into the actual garage. Because I don't walk in my front door either,
Oh.
so.
Yeah, this is not something that I've spent an exorbitant amount of effort or energy really trying to like nail down as a lever. There are certain areas that I send letters to quite frequently based off of different price points, based off of different things, but I don't have a specific area that I constantly farm or target. But I absolutely can see that through time and effort, it could be one of the greatest lead gen sources of your life. I think it just takes a lot of time
It's a
to
long
become
game.
that neighborhood expert, know everything about the neighborhood, know every event, be the person who delivers the newsletter or whatever it is for your neighborhood. I don't know what that looks like. But I think it's very difficult to really do it well. And I think that something like that should be very purposeful in your in the method that you choose.
Has to be
do it.
consistent though.
Mhm.
Well, I saw a house like 3 doors down go up for sale.
Mm.
And like they didn't know that I was a realtor. So that's what sparked my farming.
So, yeah, I hate it. Every time I drive by somebody's sign in the neighborhood, man, I screwed up again. So, but then I go stick one in their neighborhood and I feel better. I find out where the agent lives and then go stick a sign in their neighborhood. You don't have to have the listing, just go do the sign. It's fine, it's the same effect.
I like it.
Jokes. Same
I don't think you
effect.
can put that
On the
sign.
listing, you
I
just
guess you
go-
can stick your arrow sign by the stop sign.
There you go.
You're not, just say follow me here, who knows where.
You can put your directions.
I've got one with my name
Just don't
on
put
it.
a for sale one.
Right, I've got an open house with my name on it. I can stick it on the directional somewhere.
One of the things we thought that it says here is door knocking is key to farming, getting face to face with the people that are in the neighborhood and actually getting to know them some. And then not being pushy, coming from value, having the data for the neighborhood ready to go. Coming with some sort of flyer or some sort of, something that you can leave with them as well is important. Door knocking is useful for notifying neighbors of upcoming open houses, just listed houses, sold houses, looking for listings for interested buyers. Door knocking for charity drives, upcoming community events, community activities, neighborhood watch, neighborhood cleanups, all of those different things. Please keep safety in mind when you're out door knocking. Two final levers that we could potentially choose are events and seminars. Who's had some events and seminars? How have
Yesterday,
they gone?
I went to that Restore SGF or the Forward SGF one at the board, and it was, that stuff just fascinates me, and it was,
What was it?
well, the projects that are going on downtown, the Grant Street project, and then I guess they're adopting kind of the revamp that Des Moines did, like the same model. There's some programs, some buyer programs out there for rehabbing neighborhoods and for, you know, bringing in new buyers.
You're supposed to share your notes, remember?
I was gonna say, you got a letter or notes?
I did take a lot of notes on my phone.
I'm gonna need to know some about that grant program for the city. I'm just saying, a house I need to build.
There was one that was really interesting about like a neighborhood thing where if 10 neighbors, 10 houses in one area get together and they all want to rehab like curb appeal purposes. Certain projects that if they come up with, between the 10 of them, if they come up with $2,500, the city will match and give them another $2,500 towards these certain projects to beef up their curb appeal. So it's all projects that are like exterior paint and things. And then there was another one that was kind of cool. It was like, it kind of goes with business to businesses. If certain businesses will put in X amount of dollars, and then the city will put in X amount of dollars for home buying programs for their employees only. So it's keeping good reputable companies, employees housed close to wherever their business is, and, you know, quality families that will take care of the properties and not just, and they really do like flippers, they said, but not flipping for rentals, but flipping for so that. we can-
Creating housing.
Yes. So there was
There's
a lot
also,
of.
if you want to start a new business downtown, there's grants that will allow you to do that. So if you lease or rent anything downtown, there is a lot of money out there, grant money.
Yeah. it's
You have
free
to
money.
know where to find it, but it's free money, and there's also low interest loans. Low interest in today's world, still low interest loans too.
And they're-
Building a house right now on a city grant at 3%.
Yeah.
So, but of course, it's gotta stay in the rental program for however many years or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's okay.
And there's like,
Still at 3%, you're only on the hook for half of the money.
yeah,
That's not that bad of a deal.
they are uncovering Jordan Creek.
Really?
That
I've
is
been doing
crazy.
that for a long time.
And then I
They
went.
keep finding lots of good stuff in there too.
I don't know what it, yeah, that's so cool. So anybody who buys along there anytime soon, I mean, their market value is just going to.
Well, that Grant Avenue
skyrocket.
Parkway is
Yeah.
gonna become, I
$26
sold a
million
building on that.
is going into that, and that's, they
I
said,
sold a building before, like right around the time they made the announcement. And she bought it for under $1 million. And I guarantee you when that's done, she's gonna be sitting on a great little
Gold
strip
mine.
center.
yeah, it's crazy. They said there's 170 million that's went to the schools and another 220 coming.
Sure.
That's insane. I mean, and Springfield schools need it. So, I mean, this is crazy. So, yeah, I'm gonna study up on that, the model that they've done with Des Moines. All the.
All the notes.
All of it.
You gotta share them.
But, so events and seminars. Some events that you could potentially have, neighborhood park cleanup, it says, supply bags, glove, water bottles, those type of things. Family and front porch photos. You can set up dates and times for anybody who likes to participate. We had Santa Claus at our office last winter. We had Santa Claus here too. They had another day where people could use this area, but we had them out at our place. I do, in the fall, we do a tailgate party for the first home game of Stratford High School. I'm right across the field from it, so I just give away hot dogs and stuff. Anything and everything that you can do. There was an event last weekend in Stratford that they called me and asked me to donate some things for, and sure, absolutely, I'll help out. Virtual game nights is another idea. What are some events or seminars that you could do that are low cost that you can think of?
I just thought about, like, we were talking about door knocking, community newsletters. What if you went around door knock, found what services were offered by the people in the neighborhood? Got their business to help sponsor something for the neighborhood. So like going around door knocking, getting their names on a newsletter, putting that newsletter out amongst your neighborhood. Hey, we're gonna have a barbecue this day. Boom, all the vendors help pay for that meal. Somebody cooks it up and everybody gets to know everybody a lot better. You know, so I mean,
I think no matter what you do, you just need to have a system.
And do something. Just do it.
And
yeah.
and you need to
Start small.
yeah, absolutely, start small.
Do something.
I wanna say Santa cost me $350 last winter. It's like $200 on Gig Salad to get a Santa Steve to come hang out for 2 hours. I put a couple social media ads out there and there was people that just came to the office and got free photos. You know, and a lot of underprivileged families that probably wouldn't have got photos with Santa otherwise showed up and it was great. Probably one of the best things about it, I thought. So very low cost. They can be time intensive though. And if you let it get out of control and don't have a system, then your party will just go nuts. You won't get the response you're looking for you won't get the result you're looking for, excuse me.
Yeah, ROI would be better.
Right. It'll just be an event.
Yeah.
And one of the things about events, it's not as much about the event as it is the marketing leading up to and after. Market, 12 people might show up. 7,000 saw it. Somebody will remember you. They may not have even shown up to your event. And then when you're done, follow up with them. Anyway, sorry, soapbox.
You have like an end of year event, that's always my fun thing to do. It's a way of thanking the clients that have worked with you over the years and you're reconnecting with their families. Cause sometimes like you get so connected with these people and you're helping them with a buy sell and then the transaction's over and life happens. And so getting caught up with them is super important so that they know that you still care about their family. And that's to me that my end of year client event I always do in October-ish. And that's my way of getting back with people.
How's that help January?
It does, for sure. Yeah.
How about it helps January?
And it gets you talking points. So if you're calling your sphere and your DTD2 calls, your call after the event is always, you know, either, hey, it was so great to reconnect, or man, I'm really sorry I missed you. We had a blast this year. Maybe you can make it next year and you can build that anticipation.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic. And then seminars. What type of seminars could you hold or could you develop a system for to hold?
Financial planning for young people.
Okay, financial planning for young people, great.
Yeah, because those are your next first-time home buyers and they need to learn at a young age how to budget. They're blowing and going.
Obviously, first-time home buyer seminars are a big one.
Right.
Investor seminars.
Investors.
We just did a real estate and estate planning seminar a
Mhm.
month ago.
Okay, estate planning seminars. Oh, we're planning a VA buyer seminar.
Yeah, I want to come.
Come on. It'd be fun.
Make sure that you.
We're going to the
make sure I know.
DAV. I talked to the
Yeah, let's
commander
go.
last week, so, yep. We're going to the DAV in town. I talked to the DAV commander last week, another month or two. So that's our next seminar that we're gonna put together.
Man, I'm telling you, it's such an untapped market because people just shy away from VA and I really think it's
It's 60 to 80% of my business. It really is. It's
Bring
probably
me a
60 to
flyer for
80%.
my carriage listing. It's got a VA assumable loan, Brian, at 3%,
What's the price?
325.
Maybe today, actually, I might have just got a new one today.
So
I gotta
it's-
talk to him.
It's 190 grand on the first,
Mhm.
but some of the local credit unions will do a piggyback purchase second at a higher interest rate
Yeah.
with a little bit of money down.
Okay.
Awesome, very good.
As long as they got the down payment or they can get a second, then sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the tough
Yep.
part a lot of times with the VAs because.
But that first mortgage is
Because
gonna
we're
be
coming
paid
out of the
into-
military and we've been living on shoestrings.
That first mortgage has already been paid into 7 years.
Mhm. Yeah, so awesome. I'm gonna have to look it up again. I looked at it, I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. We talked,
It
we
was
texted and
well, it was
talked
under
about it.
contract and then it
That's
came
right.
back on the market because our buyer lost their job, so.
Oof.
So, but yeah, any type of seminars that you can come up with that are gonna be valuable, and again, have a system, market it, do your best to get people there and then follow up after. It doesn't work unless you put it all together, into some sort of pieces and parts. Leads are everywhere. Everywhere you go. What's your goal when you're going out? Like I have, we talk about goals, I think probably in Ignite 1 or 2, probably went through some goal setting stuff and went through the math and all of that to get back to how many people you need to talk to and all of that. In our success systems, you're talking to what, 10 contacts per day? So two-way communication with 10 people in a day. How quickly do you think that we can do that? If we're purposeful and have a system about it and knock it out early, probably, before things get in our way, and life happens. But, those to me are just one of those things that, when you put all of that things together, it just comes down to how do we capture every single lead that comes into our database and then communicate with them. And then finding those levers that make sense to you. So how many levers should you probably have? Lead levers, lead gen levers,
At least 3.
at least 3, with one being what?
Here.
Always sphere. Cool. Any other ahas from this?
I wrote down, if you're gonna hold an event, it's not about the marketing leading up to or it's not about the event, it's about the marketing leading up to it. And I kind of would add also the follow-up
Mhm.
marketing afterwards.
Yep.
So. Because most of the time you get so focused on actually the event
Yeah.
that you forget about both the bookends to it.
And maybe hire it out if the investment's worth it, like hiring some of the stuff out so you don't have to do as much planning. You can do more just socializing, gathering contacts.
And if you hired it out and then later on down the road, they need a realtor, guess what?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Opinion
Referral,
partner.
yeah.
Right. Having sponsor.
So part of the success system, every day is to add contacts to the database and leads as well. Right? A contact is what? What is a contact? Anyone? People that you can have two-way communication with. What is a lead?
Somebody who might be interested in doing a. real
So the
estate
book
transaction.
says somebody that you have the right to at least have one-way conversation with. That's what it says. You have the right to. So somebody that maybe hit a Facebook lead or somebody, it could be anybody. And then a contact, people that you have permission to have a two-way conversation with and whom you've established a value-based relationship. So having those 10 conversations per day or having those 10 contacts per day is fairly important. And then putting leads into your database as soon as you can helps you keep track of them and allows you to stay in communication with them. There's tons of help for putting your leads into Command out there or whatever system that you use. Who uses Command in here? Everybody? Cool. If you didn't know, there's a 66-day Marty Miller smart plan. Clay, have you told them about it? Sweet. It's like 3 or 6 minutes a day that you can set yourself on, send it to yourself every morning and get a little command training for 5 or 6 minutes. So this is overall the final lesson in the lead gen plan, but some of the things that we've covered so far is connecting with Zephyr, building and feeding your database, capture leads from open houses, build community with social media and capture leads, and then execute a referral strategy. Geographic areas to focus door knocking efforts, and then events and seminars. What lead sources do you plan on taking any action on, if any? Or lead levers, whatever you want to call them, that you haven't since you've been in class? Is there anything that you haven't done as a lead generation strategy that you're going to do differently since taking this class? Let me reword that.
For sale by owners and expireds.
For sale by owners and expireds? Okay, why?
First thing, in the because I mean, they're already saying, I'm selling a house. I just don't have a realtor. So I mean. The effort.
Cool. Anyone else?
I'm gonna look at that geo farming a little bit more and try to use some of the tools out there, such as the AI and all of that to help. I know Amy and I are gonna create our perfect or like our perfect client avatar and really start working on that. And really that's geo farming, because it's figuring out who is that perfect person and then developing a marketing strategy surrounding it.
Okay.
It's gonna be learning GPT.
Remember, they're just tools.
I know,
Right.
it's using it as a tool for marketing and also doing the flyer for my neighborhood as well, getting one together and sending it out.
That's what I was thinking. I'd like to do more in my neighborhood, door knocking, maybe the cards, little handwritten notes.
And Amy and I are also working on like our referral partners. We're kind of working on a really nice, I'm gonna call it a pamphlet, book that, I mean, and for us to put you in there, we have to truly trust you. And so really strengthening those relationships, because like you said earlier, when we do make a referral to somebody, that is our reputation. We're saying this person will treat you the same as I would treat you. And so you really need to vet that. And I know we didn't talk about that earlier, but I would tell everybody that it's not just simply we're like using words coming out of your mouth to say, oh, I'm gonna refer you. There are a lot of people I won't refer. So to say that I want to be a referral partner with you means I'm as committed to your success as my own. And anyone that I send you, I'm sending, you're an extension of me. So my reputation is just as much on the line. So when you're doing that partner, it truly needs to be looked at as a partner. Because they could hurt you as much as they could help you.
For sure.
And so that's one of the things that we have on our goals is really to develop a good, strong partner referral network and like honor it. Because the other thing is we have, look at how many contractors there are, look at how many lenders there are. And if we truly say they're our partner, then we have to treat them as such. So it's not just, it's not just in lip service.
And vice versa.
And vice versa, because there's plenty of agents they can refer to too.
Very, very much so. I want, and I haven't got this yet, but I want my inspections done within 5 days.
I've been able to do that.
And I'm almost to the point with the inspector that we use quite a bit, that if you can't get it within 5, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Because I want.
But I think you have to, if you have referral partners or vendor partners, you have to set that expectation.
Yep.
And then you have to hold them to it, because
Right.
it's just like every human in the world, without an expectation and a standard, they will not perform.
That's right.
And what I would tell you is to set your expectations and standards high and to not waver on them.
It is your business.
It is your business.
They support your business. You referred to them. They are not in charge.
Right.
I remind them that.
The busier you
So-
get and the more business you have to share, the more the vendor partners are willing to
Yeah.
be accommodated
they
with
are.
you. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I feel like I give people plenty of business.
Yep.
And I should probably get some of that treatment.
Absolutely.
You know, I think I've earned that space in a lot of people's lives. And if they're not willing to give me that space in their lives, then I'm gonna find somebody who will.
But I'm gonna also say this, and this might just be the,
It's hard, but it's true.
this is probably the military in me too, but also, it doesn't matter if you're new, never say you're new. You should always present yourself as that you're their biggest client.
Sure.
And you should never have a mindset anything other than that. I just say, always think that you're bigger than what you are without being disrespectful. So if you talk to them in a certain way that makes you sound big, then they're gonna be like, oh, wait, hold up, I'm missing out on business from them. They may be your only deal, but they're gonna think in their head, oh my goodness, they have a ton of more business and they chose me for this one. And sometimes I will say that, hey, I'm choosing you for this because I feel like you will do the best job, but I need it done by Thursday. And so it gives them something to also mow over in their head. Never say, well, this is my first house and I'm really trying to do a good job. That just said, I'm really not important and I don't really have a lot going on. Instead say, hey, this is a very important client to me and I'm putting them first on my agenda and I need you to do the same thing. Always be bigger, always be bigger and always set a bigger expectation for them.
I love that.
Cause I hear everybody in here talk about, well, I'm newer, I'm just this, I hate the I am just. I even tell all of my athletes that I coach, you are not just, so don't say that. You can say I am, but you cannot say I'm just, I'm only. Don't do that to yourself.
For sure. Everybody's new in this business. It's
Every
like
day is
10% of the
new.
people aren't. It's like 5 or 10% of people ain't new.
Yeah, but it's changing so often that we're all new every day.
Everybody's new
Is it?
all the time.
Yeah, limiting beliefs.
And I promise you, something happened to me yesterday that I never had happen before. Guaranteed. I don't remember what it was, but it happened, right? Like, because it's not important anymore, it was handled, and now I gotta figure out what the new thing is for tomorrow that I'm gonna come in contact with. There's always something different or new that comes up. Hey, are you coming to teach a rest?
Oh, gosh, I could not do it as good as you do, so.
So, yeah, so AHA's on the overall things that we've talked about today. We went through method and method, approach, connect, ask, prospecting versus marketing, referrals, geo farming, and then next time you're about to transition to following up. And I wish I taught that one too, because next one I'll probably do that. Gain a deeper understanding how to create and disseminate lead generating methods, and being able to expand your referral activities should be a goal for tomorrow or next week, tomorrow. Yeah. And then for the rest of the day, you got your lead generation plan and your success system.
No, you're gonna share some systems with
Yeah,
us.
let's
That's
do
the
that
next thing.
first.
We're holding you to that.
No, I'll give them to you. It's I love this type of stuff. So let me get logged in. Are you guys still online?
There's 4 people.
I don't know if they're still here or not. I bored them to death. There's 4 people.
Yes.
Yes, somebody's there.
They're just not paying attention. I'm gonna shut them down. They're not allowed to see this stuff. Where's Chrome? I don't know how to open up another Chrome window. There we are. That's right.
That's when you say no.
What'd we rename that? G some, B,
Which one?
so B,
Which one?
the Facebook follow-up. So relocation follow-up.
It's gotta be on one of these guys.
Where is it?
I think at this point, you're new people.
I don't know all of my numbers, but here we are.
Is it a G?
It's a B3.
B3.
Holiday.
I need to have like a micro version of that list, like right on my computer or something.
I got it, it's in Drive, I just never have it up. So this would be what I do when we get a Facebook lead. I say Command does, okay? Based off of how they come into the database, they'll be targeted or tagged in Command based off of the ad. And those tags also generate other smart plans for me. So first thing, I believe that dynamic texting is important because people who hit Facebook ads hit multiple Facebook ads. So text them different things, but let your tech do it for you. So create a few different texts that say the same thing, roughly, but will go out in a different manner. And then we're making a phone call. Now I write my scripts and things like that, so I have them really close to me when I'm going through my task lists. So I put them in the task of, here's some qualifying questions. Ever seen these before? Those aren't the same ones, but anyway. And then we'll come down here, we're gonna send an email. And this is day 2. So you're getting a text and a call on day 1, then you're gonna get an email with just some questions. People will reply to it. And then you're also gonna get a text. Just following up on my last message, can I ask 2 to 3 questions about your home search? People will respond to this. Sure, go for it. What next? Just ask questions, right? What do you look for? What area of town you look for?
Yeah,
Go from there.
you don't have to give them a call or anything if that's like scary to you. You just shoot them a text.
Yeah, and then again, call is the same because I'm assuming that I haven't gotten in touch with this person yet. And then we're gonna send another email, we're gonna delay again, we're gonna send a text, and then we're gonna make a call, and then we're gonna do more things all the way down until it goes to day 8. And then it's gonna link to a second smart plan of price improvements monthly. It's a Command designs email, a hyperlink that hang on here. That will take them to my website, to a filtered search that already has the price reduced set up for them. So that all of these houses in the area have had a price reduction within the last 7 days. So they'll get this email every month until oblivion.
Now, did you set all of these up, or were these some of the ones that Command kind of already had in them?
You go to your KW website or whatever website you like to use for your, when you like to capture leads or wherever you want to filter people to search from. KW is this website will allow you to do all of your filters. And once you've done all of your filters, that's created a new URL based off of those filters. So I copy and paste the current URL into the email body as a hyperlink. So that people can, when they get it, there's a hyperlink for them. There we are. I went to the wrong one. Has anybody seen this page? Or gone to this page? Okay, so it's a very useful information for you or anyone else. This is a really, really nice feature of Command Sophia Leanne opened my open houses this weekend email. Do you think I'm gonna call her? Guaranteed, right? 100% I'm going to call this person. I know that they opened my email that they get every single week. And it's the same thing. So I did the same email, open houses, do a URL, click open houses, copy and paste hyperlink. Really simple. You can set it to go out every week until Oblivion Unlimited repeats. So it goes out every single week. Homes with price improvements, Jody Hooker apparently read that. And then monthly neighborhood nurtures. People read and click on the emails that you send them from Command. If you track and you pay attention to what they click and you will know when to call them. And then here, updates, update emails. These are just all emails that people have opened that I've sent out via Smart Plans. So I can call people and know who to call. Questions about any of that? So that's my lead follow-up in a nutshell for Facebook leads. What I'm gonna do is just publish it. And if you want it, you can go in there for the next 24 hours in the library and you can download that, throw it into ChatGPT, rewrite it for yourself and go about business. Lead. Should be out there now.
For people who aren't that command savvy yet, because there's a lot of people in here that are pretty new, show them where to go to find that.
So, library, author name. Ryan Fisher. It'll come in there in a second. I'll have to probably publish it again, but it should show up here in a second. That's why. I have a few, 125 right now that we're. I don't know what's going on here. I want to let me publish it. What other questions do you guys have? Anything at all? And I'm happy to show you guys through the things that I use in Command as well. Or we can just go to Success Systems and just start calling people. And should be able to find it now. This is one of my favorite Smart Plans, this new contact. When you get a new contact, what do you do with them? Like that's like, I don't know. So I knew when I started out that I wanted my people to be on drip campaigns, but I didn't have a way to always put them or to know exactly what I was trying to do. So what we did with this new contact is when you add a contact to the database and tag them with a new contact, I've created a task list for us. So I can add it on the go, tag real quick, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 days later, there's a task on my list of, hey, go add this person to the Smart Plans and the drip campaigns and all of those things, so you don't forget. This is something I found that's very useful in, just being mindful and purposeful about what we do. All of our opportunities are also on Smart Plans. So when I have a new buyer that wants to, that I'm going to create a new opportunity for in Command, I tag them as buyer opportunity. And then a checklist auto-populates that says I need to create their buyer consultation stuff. I need to do all of these other things. And essentially, as you layer people and leverage into your business, these tasks can become admin tasks or whatever, and you've already built them in for the future. So just some ways that you can be a little bit more efficient in the things that you do, or in the communication that you have. Quarterly text plan, I got 117 people on it now. They're all dynamic texts through ChatGPT. 4 years worth of. So how to build it and prompting it is important if you guys want to go down there. If not, we can move on. And I
No,
can-
please, keep going.
So some of the things that I asked ChatGPT to do for that quarterly plan. So when I started, I just added, and it did like quarterly as in, hey, here's a spring, fall, whatever. I'm like, hey, I don't want the time of year. Ask a question once in a while. Okay, so then it put some questions in here. Take out the references to the time of year. I don't want that in there. Hey, we're curious to know what's your favorite aspect of living in our community. Your insights help to serve us better. Not a bad question. We're always ready to help with your real estate needs. Do you have any home improvement or decor tips to share? I don't know. By 4 years of me texting somebody, we probably had some decent conversations. I should ask that question maybe. And then I prompted it, they're a little salesy. Can you rewrite them? Hope it finds you well. If you ever want to chat about the neighborhood, don't hesitate to drop a line. Okay, cool. I didn't like those either. No, I'd like it to be done this is what I ended up going with. Now I wanted one for people that I had not done business with before. I want it to be fairly informal but professional and as if a high D on the disc road. Hello. This is whoever from the Fisher team. We love connecting with locals and real estate needs. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I get responses from these text messages almost every day. When we put people on, it's really, really nice. And it's created a lot of past client conversations in the past couple of months that have turned into really good, really nice conversations with people I hadn't got to connect with recently. So it was kind of cool. I love to provide value other than advice. What are some other value adds? Okay. Can we recommend a local electrician for you? I was just kind of playing. Let's use a mix of both. And then it rewrote it to put both in there. Can you fill in the blanks with Southwest Missouri? Oh, hey, here's a great new coffee shop, the Coffee Ethic in downtown. I don't know if that's a real coffee shop or not, but
It is.
is it? I have no idea, but it did it for me. And then it's like, hey, have you heard about the new expansion of Nathaniel Green Coast Memorial Park? I don't know if that's really happening or not, but guess what? Like I was just messing around with this. I was finished.
It's crazy.
And I went into that a little bit further and a little bit deeper. I was just playing. Oh, additionally, I'd like to come up with a quarterly text plan for buyers and sellers that are long-term nurtures. The text should be personal, useful, brief. Sounds like something from Bold, right? They said that in the first couple of days about texting that are provide value and what Gary Keller, because if you just put Mofer, they don't know what the heck you're talking about. I've done it before, so I put in here and then I added this. Okay, cool. Hello. Just wondering if you needed any advice. Not sure if you're ready to make a move yet. Would you like a CMA? Would you like a recommendation for a lender? Any of those different things. I like 20 texts with emojis. So I wanted some emojis in there, so I rewrote it with those and added 20 texts in there with emojis. Again, it's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the things that I want.
You can keep telling it things. Female, male, business,
Analyze my production.
baseball person.
How about that? I asked it to analyze my production for the last 12 months. And then give me ideas to lead in based off of that. It was telling me all kinds of stuff about how terrible I was and I should have done better and yada yada. But then,
Did it really?
no, I'm just.
I was like, what?
Then I'm like, okay, well, cool. I wonder if I can turn this into a GPS. And I did. With a goal of increasing production by 300,000 in the next 12 months. And just rewrote a GPS with that I can follow. And when I say rewrote, we rewrote together. These are things that I want. ChatGPT doesn't know my conversion rates. I put it in here. Help me write my GPS based off of my current conversion rates and my price point and my this and my that. Right? I'm giving it the data that it needs in order to generate the things that I want. And then I didn't love it. Hey, I want it more specific. I want it more specific. We're gonna get a little bit deeper into things. Filling out a real estate contract. I felt like I wanted a cheat sheet the other day. I'm sure somebody already has one, but I wanted to make it myself. So I copied and pasted the contract in here and created a cheat sheet out of that we can use to make our whatever things better. Those are what I'm doing. So let's make a smart plan. What do you want to do? Let's make a communication plan for people.
I'm gonna have a Zoom seminar for investing in real estate 4 weeks from now. A creative, I don't know, a campaign
Oh, so you're
to send
looking,
to sphere of influence. When I do my Zoom seminars, I invite agents. I invite all, because I have like a whole bunch of out of area
I can't
agents
spell,
that are in
by
my
the way.
database. So I invite them too.
campaign. Good job, Brian.
ChatGPT knows what you're saying in the
It's
eyes.
so much
It
smarter.
already
than me.
knows what you're saying before you said it, so.
Right.
How many touches?
Well, we'll say 1 a week and then the last week 2 touches, so 6 touches.
With how many texts of that? 4, 5, 3, 1 call?
Let's say 6 emails. And maybe 3 or 4 texts, I don't know, 3 texts. I don't know, I don't like to bombard people.
Oh, girl, you gotta quit thinking that way.
I know. Limiting beliefs,
All right, let's see. See what we
can
come up
read
with.
it. Or
right?
choose not to.
What this whole course is.
It's typing your email.
And it's reminding me, have the contact information. have the-
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Friends, it's crazy.
Wow. It is all DOS based.
Okay,
You're
I'm gonna wait
right.
till midnight tonight. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It is. You're
It
right.
just reminds me of like the old DOS where you go in and you program it to say, to do what you want to do.
That's
like build a
insane. I
picture,
didn't even
whatever.
think about it that way. until-
That's exactly
Watching
what
it
reminds
do
me
it.
of.
Stopped
So-
on me, so we'll just continue.
The other thing is, if you build out your database, you really want to get a whole bunch of agents in other areas into your database that you're staying in touch with and invite them to all of these. And then you can call them and say, hey, it wasn't a mistake. I'm inviting you to this. If you haven't done online Zoom seminars, feel free to attend and R&D what I'm doing in your market. So you're like giving them something if they want to learn from you, and then they can copy and duplicate what's happening in their market, and like, then they feel like you've given them something, and they will think of you for a referral if they've got somebody coming in this area, or someone in their office is like, who do you know in Springfield? They're like, oh, I know someone.
So like, what's your value proposition? What's your company values? Do you have any yet?
My
Yeah.
NVGBP
For you guys.
for us,
Mhm.
yes, we have them all written down.
I mean, but like, so I would incorporate those into my emails and texts and say, hey, remember our values as a company is,
Yes.
right? These 3-4
Uh-huh.
things. And then it'll write it in the way of keeping those values in mind.
Yes.
It's really interesting on how it jams out some cool stuff for you.
I mean, we really are operating from the mindset that we want to have as many people that are in our sphere to become investors or grow wealthy through real estate or make advantages in their life through real estate. We want to give them the tools, the education, everything that they need so that they can win and grow wealth for their families.
You said it, not me.
Oh, nice.
I'm telling you,
Let's
it's
build your
crazy.
families wealth together.
Mhm.
Love it.
It's crazy,
I love
friend.
it. Mhm. Yeah, my big one was I've got a lot of people that are having babies, you know, so a lot of like newer, and they call me mom, it's awful. I mean, it's good and
I have
bad,
more
but
people who call me
like,
mom.
do you realize, nobody taught me this, but if you have a baby and you buy a rental property at the same time that you have this child and you double the payment, so you're making your, you know, pay it off in 15 years, you're not using the cash flow on it, you're putting the money back in the property. But by the time the kid goes to college or is graduating from high school, you have a paid off investment. So that can either fund your kid's college, or it can be, you know, there's nest egg or there's seed money for becoming an entrepreneur or doing something they want to do, or their
Flipping
first
nest.
home in life.
It's always
right?
nestled.
I know, I hate that when it does that. I just always tell it not to use
Oh,
certain
he's
words.
nestled. But this is just listing remarks.
Or cozy. Don't use cozy.
Yep. So I wanted a little bit more and then just kind of explain what you're asking for throughout. Then it came here, I was like, oh, no, we need a little bit less, but here's the ads, get rid of this stuff.
Mhm.
You can literally say, don't say, not this, and it'll just rewrite it. It may choose a different words you don't like, so you may have to take that out too, but
Oh,
I love it.
here's my prompting. We're just starting this, but remember I said I was gonna do a VA seminar
yeah.
soon, right? So here's the things that we're gonna do. Here's the introduction or the outline for it, ready to go for me.
Mhm.
And then, okay, here's the draft script that we can talk about and we can go through and learn.
Question, do any of your smart plans ever cross in your database, or are they tagged well enough that they don't, so they don't get like I mean, I guess if you want them to have 5 emails a day, I mean, like, how do you categorize your database contacts enough to where, you know, you don't,
Well, who are they?
yeah.
Oh, I'm asking, who are they? It matters. Like what type of person? Because everybody's on something different.
Okay,
And and everybody's tagged differently, right? So we have all of these different, like Clay has his
you have
sphere
people
tag.
that have the same tags on, are they gonna get the same smart plan, but they're, you know,
They will based off of different timelines.
okay.
Okay, so when I set up a quarterly thing, I don't want it to go I don't want it always to go on the first. I'd like it to be throughout the month. So we set people up to go throughout the month. In order to do that, like if you're doing a mass smart plan, right? The entire database is on the H plans for me, which is the holidays.
Oh, okay, so you pick which database or which,
I
tags
say
are
entire,
on.
most of it, 4th of July. 1,762 people are gonna get that email on the 4th of July. If I wanted to add people to that, you do it from here or from your contacts list, and you can bulk add them all on the 4th of July.
You want to show that? That's bulk adding.
So you would come to your home screen, just click however many or all of them. And then add to Smart Plan. So number. Hit select, it won't send to those people. We can either remove or add it anyway. We'll remove, and then I'm gonna come down to start on this following date. Okay, and then I'm gonna change it to the date that I want it to go out. So for that, then I would hit confirm. Or let's assume that it's something that I want everybody to go to, but that doesn't have to be on the same day. I can stagger those throughout the days. And then let's say I want to have 25 people get it on day one. Let's quickly click up to 25. And then 424 people are gonna get this, but only 25 a day are gonna get it. And then the next day, 25 more, and then the next day, 25 more. It's gonna do it automatically for me. It's gonna send those out.
So
based off of
then
that
you
schedule.
only put them on one smart plan at a time,
Correct.
each person
It's a
is- oh,
pain to do, but you have to go through, like we have all of our holidays, you have to do them one at a time. I do them from the bulk ad thing. You can put somebody on the same smart plan twice, it won't run, right? So if they're on 4th of July, it's not gonna send 2 4th of July emails. That's what I'm getting at. Just send it once. So I don't necessarily go through here and filter out or anything like that. But again, trying to be purposeful about how we do things. Go to my tags. New contact. May of 2023, June of 2023.
Okay.
When do they come into my database? So June, I can go by June, everybody who has come into the database, I can put them on all the smart plans at once. Because I tagged them originally on how they came into the database.
But her question was, you only have them on one smart plan at a time, but that's not actually accurate. You
No,
have them on
absolutely not.
multiple smart plans.
This person here is on 13.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering if you have them on that many different smart plans, are they getting like massive
Oh, they're
amounts of
getting blown up.
emails daily?
I don't know.
You know?
They're going out when they go out.
I mean, I guess go over to their timeline then and,
There you go. I got a couple of texts, see?
so it's not like super bombard,
No,
but you're
got an
definitely
email
in
here.
front of them.
I think so. Homes with price improvements, it's May. Email, April showers. They haven't unsubscribed.
Okay.
It's not every day, it's like every.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of people on a lot of
Well, but some of them are quarterly, so obviously they're not getting,
But
but
if
But
they-
yeah, if they were irritated, they would unsubscribe, so,
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
And if they unsubscribe, then I probably don't want to do business with them anyway, so.
exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
just move on about my day. None of this affects me.
Mhm.
My job is to add more people to it and communicate with the people that are in my database and want to be around me.
Yeah.
I choose to do that in a systematic way, but I think holiday emails are important. I think it's nice when you get an email on whatever holiday, even if you just delete it. That's
Saw
fine.
the name.
Okay.
Another thing that I saw yesterday was change your name on your email to include who you are and your phone number. Make it a little different in your, like in Google, like mine says Brian Fisher, like put Brian Fisher, then a big line,
a
and
pipe.
then Realtor, and then my number,
Mhm.
all in the name line. Something
Yeah.
different. Nobody does that,
I'm gonna
right?
go do that
You're
today.
welcome. I'm changing mine today. But nobody does that I know of. I just heard it the other day. Maybe it'll do something different with my emails that makes me stand out a little bit differently. That's all. Change one little thing, you'd be surprised.
Should do that on there.
So funny, so funny. And I swear, in this industry, I have found that as long as people will tell you, if you do the activities, you're gonna get all of this. Yeah, sure. if you do the activities, like you just get leads from other places. It seems like it's weird how when you're trying to attract business, you attract business. And when you're attempting to put good things into your life, good things come. So give good out, get good in all day, every day, right? And when I push out, I feel it's valuable content, maybe it's not. And some people will unsubscribe or call me like old boy yesterday. That was Scooby, by the way, if you guys want his number. I don't know, Shooby. I haven't archived him yet.
I say we should all.
We should all call him.
It's Scooby.
What's up?
Wow.
But I mean, so again, I was being kind of a smart ass, don't get me wrong. Hey, Scooby, it's me. I know you're checking out some houses online. He said something, I hit the wrong button and I was like, okay, cool. Are you sure? Yeah, I was being a
And
little
then
smart.
that's when he called you?
And then, no, it was the next day. Here's the thing with Command. Command sends out a message that you don't see in here when you have a team. And it says like, hey, members of your team may be able to read these messages. That's what he replied to. That's what he called me based off of. It went out automatically. And I just didn't have a chance to go in here and archive the guy first.
Oh.
Oh,
One thing.
Scooby.
One more thing, I love organization when it comes to doing our job, and I think efficiency is very important. Some people will not show you this, or you'll never see it. But when we get into opportunities in this world, keeping yourself like in line or on checklist or is to me very important. I built my checklists in Command. I use the tools that they give us and I communicate with my clients using these checklists. Okay, so when we are staging a house or getting it ready to be listed, I've scheduled my listing photography. My client gets an update whenever that happens. The initial listing documentation is done, my client gets an update. When the listing documentation, the MLS, when I put the sign out, they're gonna get an email update the next day that I put the sign out. They'll see the sign, but they're gonna get an email too, that I did it. And this happens all along the transaction, all the way.
So on that checklist, do you then have either task or smart plans that then, how does it work? Cause I'm not that fluent on Command yet, so
Yeah.
tell us how that works and how you set that up.
Yeah, so, it works differently than, usually. Okay, it doesn't necessarily go to your task list and show up there visibly. You have to search through it in your task list. So for me, as a part of my daily success system, is to go through my checklists for all of my, opportunities, whether they're nurture, whether they're, whatever, especially the ones that are under contract, right? Or I'm like getting close to listing and all of those things. So based off of those, like at Cultivate, I go in here about once a week and I just look at these. Then appointments, if they've kept it, I may be going in here a little bit more often. When they get active,
I'm trying to figure out how, when you did the checklist, I'm assuming you've got that where it auto sends them.
correct.
I've checked the button, they get an email. How did you do
I
that?
apologize, I didn't understand.
No, that's okay. That's why I'm re-saying it because
So right here,
that's working smarter, not harder.
I apologize. See this here where it says client updates and
Yeah.
it says on?
Okay.
If I go to view details and I go to the details page, so I have all of the info. And if you guys want to sell this house, it's coming live this week, 110,000. So
Where's it at?
3030 West Water.
Where's water?
Photos are tomorrow. Northwest side off of Bypass and Chestnut.
Okay,
So it's not, you know.
not quite all the way to Ghetto.
Yeah, not quite.
What?
But client updates,
Opportunity zone though.
that's right.
And it was zip code 65802.
Yeah. So client updates is where you want to go. So on your details page, you're gonna go to client updates.
Okay.
And then you've got to toggle it on or off.
Okay,
And then you can select the people that are gonna get the email and when that email goes out. Mine goes out at 9:30 in the morning. So anything that was
Anything
checked
you
off the
checked?
day before
okay.
will go out and it'll look like this. So it'll have your marketing information, your photo, your phone number up top. It should have a picture of the house if it's listed. I'm not gonna tell you that that always flows in properly. And then it'll say, hey, we're checking things off of your list for your house. Here are the things that we checked off.
Love it.
If you need anything else from me, let me know. And this is just an auto gen email and
And
this,
so it takes that checklist that's in the middle, that's pretty much just a copy of the task checklist that you've had.
it's
So whatever I
only,
name it, it names it in that email?
it's only gonna send the things that you checked off. So
Okay.
if we're in the staging process
Right, but
right
you
now,
made this check off list.
Correct.
And so it pulls whatever you've made in this.
it only will send the email for the things that I've
Yeah.
hit client update.
Okay.
If I take that out, you saw that little mail thing go away?
Mhm.
If I put it back in, it comes back. So
Okay.
the items that I don't want to have them updated, like when the lead-based paint's uploaded, they don't need to know that. But, or when the disclosure is uploaded, whenever I email things, email warranty info to the seller. These are just things for me.
Mhm.
The things for them. Home prepared for showings, where open house is scheduled, if we're having one, listing websites created. MLS listings live, they get an email with all of that, we're gonna text the seller. Like my checklist is,
Robust.
it's gonna be robust because the job's robust. And I've gotta stay on track, right? When we get to the negotiation portion, if I don't get it under contract, I uncheck this box. And I do it again the next time we go, because for me, you can't screw it up if you do it the same way every time, right? So when the counter offer gets sent to the seller for review or signature, I'm gonna send them, I'm gonna check that off.
Did you create the lists or
I stole them.
command?
Who'd you steal them from? And can we
I went to
still
KW
review?
Connect, honestly, and just searched, like home buying checklist. I can't remember the name. But I'll find it. But it's in KW
Yeah,
Connect.
because instead of doing this all the hard way and having to reinvent it, we need resources to, you can amend it and make it your own, but man, good resources for not having to reinvent the wheel are the best.
You just click on it.
I just think that everybody complains that their agent doesn't talk to them enough, or they don't get enough info, right?
So you over communicate, which is great.
I don't
Yeah.
communicate. You get emails from me almost every day.
I don't think I've ever heard somebody say, you told me too much about my house.
Never, right? So, checklist. Boom, that's the one, I think. That's the one I used first to start with, and then there's another one inside of KW Connect. That's an Excel sheet that I downloaded, and it's very good and a little bit more robust. Just can't find it. Well, there's tons of them in here in this KW Connect that you can go in, download, steal, and turn them into your own checklists here. Does the same thing for buyers or sellers, either way. I love communicating with people and allowing the system to just do it for me. So, but that's what I use to do that. Let's go to here. Where's it at? This one's under contract. Multiple offers, right? I'm sure that you guys, when you have multiple offers, you use a net sheet or an Excel sheet or something like that. It's great.
So you just take and put them back into here, just for tracking?
I send this to the client. So this is when you have a multiple offer situation in Command and you put those offers into the offers and commissions tab, then you can compare and it'll pull you a new net sheet. Automatically done for you. As long as you have the data inputted in there on the details page, it'll do it for you.
An email.
So, and then you can email that to your client. Right there, it'll send off, and it's a fairly decent email with all of your information on it as well that you put in. So, yeah, Command's got some cool tools in it. Some really cool tools that One last thing that I think that's very important, every agent should probably do is track your activity, right? Command has activity tracking built inside of it, but you have to turn it on. Even as a solo agent, tracking the number of phone calls and stuff, you guys have seen it through Ignite, being able to go through your success system and track those phone calls is important. So if you go in here every day, it sends me an email. But starts out asking me how my day is, what lever did I use to find new contacts, how many people did I talk to? We'll
And
assume
you created this email for yourself, or this was already what it had in there?
it's in there.
Oh, perfect.
It's all there for you. So we'll say that I did some SOI outreach and I did some calls today. Everyone is captured in the database. I didn't set any appointments. I didn't write any contracts. I did not have any closings. It was a great day. Great day teaching Ignite. I'm gonna hit submit. Then based off of my goals and my settings, it's gonna generate what it thinks I might make in GCI based off of my activities for that day. So it tells me, hey, based off calling 20 people today, you should potentially make about 1250 in the next 2 or 3 months. And then you can go back to your dashboard and it's there for the day. We have a little leaderboard. You can also edit the activity and come back to your activity tracking, look at the monthly information, all of the conversations you've had, how many hours you've spent lead genning, all of those different things, and track that as well as putting notes in. Yeah.
That's awesome.
In order to turn that on, you just go to settings, general. It's not there, sorry. Command, reporting, activity tracking. And you can set up days off down here for anybody or yourself. And then you can set up when the emails come to you, what time of the day, and it'll auto send that email. If you don't put in your numbers, it'll send it to you 2 times to remind you, or however many you feel like you want to put. Cool.
Thank you so much.
Very welcome. Anything else that you guys would like to see, learn, or I talked about that I could explain a little bit more in detail?
What is the number one thing you think like new agents or new to KW agents need to know? Like, what's the number one thing you would have told them before they did anything else? Make sure you set this up in Command.
I would
That's a
have
really
smart
loaded
plans.
question.
I would go in and I would steal smart plans. I would absolutely
Is there
scour the
certain ones that
library
You would still first?
for sure.
Okay.
I would search. I think that, let's go to the library. Let's just do that way. So bi-weekly neighborhood nurture and your monthly neighborhood nurtures, right? Those are through Nextdoor and they are auto KW generates those. You can't do anything or change anything to them, but they keep, people want to see houses, so it sends them houses. Or it tells them what their house is worth. The
Quarterly call plan.
So Nick Baldwin used to be with the company. He's put a bunch of decent smart plans in here. Sam Jackson has put a bunch of decent smart plans in here. This is where I built my Facebook follow-up off of, just to start. Tyler Shields out of our office. He talked about it on a Zoom call or something I was on, and then I downloaded it and I made it my own and more robust to have some, different contacts in there. But these are just knockoffs of all of that. You can see those in here. But anybody that you think or that you can think of that you know of is just like throughout the company that's a lead generating magnet, you could just search their name and see if they have anything in here. I don't know. Who else? Name a name. I
Who
don't.
was the lady who taught the first day of lead gen?
Ashton,
Ashton. something
I
else.
bet they don't have anything.
I don't know if she even uses commands, so I don't know.
I don't think she said they used something else.
Yeah, they use follow-up policy. Oh, yeah, any of these here, I just downloaded this the other day after he came to town. I haven't even gone through and looked at it yet. But
What are you on? Sorry, I can't.
this Dooley's,
Oh, my-
it's just requesting buyers, I have no idea. I downloaded it, he was here, I haven't gone through it to look at it yet. But it seems interesting, there's so many opportunities and plans out there that 2,429 top rated plans. You should be able to figure out a communication plan and at least start it, Thrift Man, I think. You'll have to redo the names and stuff. Anyway. All right, I'm done for the day, I think. I hope you guys had an awesome afternoon. I had fun.
Thank you, Brian.
I have a quick question.
I'm done, I said.